morning, everybody, and welcome back into Wake Up and Ball, powered by BetUS, your number one online sports book, baby. Woo! It's a good day today. We have Championship Sunday coming up. I'm going to be on the road next week in the Senior Bowl. What? The coaching searches is finally coming to a close, and it's also picking up some steam. GM search, you name it, NFL talk is what we're prioritizing here on Wake Up a Ball lately because there's so much to talk about. Good morning, Tony Dow. How are you doing this morning, man?
I'm good, man. Just finished up my agenda for the day. Got a lot to take care of, man. But listen, man, the first thing first, waking up to ball every single morning right here with the homie Richie. Let's get it, ladies and gentlemen. Let's have a great day.
Look at it. Aaron Glenn, welcome to the New York Jets. He signs a 5-year deal to become the next Jets head coach. Let's freaking go. I'm pumped up about this. We're starting off with Aaron Glenn coming on home, baby, because at the end of the day, I remember TD Fins Talk, Mr. Tony Dow, whatever you get called on this channel. You were telling me that he was never going to be the Jets head coach. When I first brought him up, you just didn't believe it. Now, why did you think that? Is it because you bought into the narrative that nobody wants to be the Jets head coach because of Woody Johnson, because of the bad owners, because the team is just bad historically? Why did you feel like the Jets were not going to land one of the top guys on the list? You said the Jets are not getting Vrabel, Flores, or Glenn. You were wrong, TD. We got him. We got Glenn. Now, why did you think that?
Because the Jets are a terrible organization and nothing they do typically works out. And I like Aaron Glenn. Again, I still think he has to prove himself as a head coach, but I like him. And I didn't think y'all would have any success. But at the end of the day, I can barely hear myself. The music's still going, I think. But yeah, I just didn't think y'all would actually get him. But y'all got him. You got a big fish, in the water. Now let's see if he can swim. We'll find out. The Jets know how to mess things up. I know a lot of Jets fans are excited about this hire, as they should be. But at the end of the day, once again, it has to, work out whenever it matters most. And that's when the season starts. What will the Jets build? What are their plans moving forward? There's still a lot of questions. You got quarterback questions. I mean, you got general manager questions.
That's the thing we're going to talk about.
Yeah, so that has to, come to fruition. And then you got to worry about Aaron Rodgers. Then you got to worry about DJ Reed about to leave. You got contracts coming up. Sauce, Garrett, Brees. Are you going to make them play it out? Are you going to extend them? Are you trading somebody? So much to discuss in Jets world. But you know what, Richie? That's good for all your Jets creators because at least you won't have a boring offseason.
Yeah, can't relate to the boring offseason world. Shout out to everybody in the chat. We appreciate everybody. Smash a like button. We're live on Roundtable Sports talking about Aaron Glenn officially getting hired. The news about the GM search, TDs, we have 3 finalists. And according to Jonathan Jones of CBS, that the Jets are expected to make a decision today. It could come tonight. Jonathan Jones said these Jets GM interviews will take place today, and there's an expectation a decision may be made by the end of the day. To be clear, a decision could come tonight. It very well could be made in a day or two as well. The Jets had a long process now. It's in the second month, and they'll be thorough in making this hire. So we have 3 finalists officially as the next Jets GM. These lists include on your screen right here. The 3 finalists. Here they are, TD. Lance Newmark, who is the guy we've been talking about, who's been linked to the Jets. The second one is Trey Brown. Trey Brown is a personnel executive for the Cincinnati Bengals. And then last but not least, Darren Muge, who is the assistant GM of the Denver Broncos. So these are the finalists of the job. Darren Muge comes from the Sean Payton era. He also has been tied with Denver for a long time, all the way back to the John Elway era, I believe, which is wild. So we'll see where the Jets go at GM. I think we'll finally get it by the end of the day.
Wait, which one has history with Glenn again?
Lance
Isn't
Newmark.
that Lance? Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, you want some camaraderie. I don't think these other guys have crossed Aaron Glenn's path. Have they?
The thing that Darren Moogie does is he's coming from Sean Payton, and Sean Payton and Aaron Glenn are like this. Like you can say Aaron Glenn comes from the Sean Payton tree even. And Darren Moogie and Sean Payton are connected. So there is a connection through the Sean Payton tree. And then Trey Brown. It's interesting. I think you can, Trey Brown is an interesting one. He's another former player that has, a lot of experience in scouting and with Cincinnati, who's with Cleveland, I believe. Darren Moogie is a guy I feel like is the most intriguing name. But when it comes to like the guy that I feel like is best fit for the job, it is Lance Newmark, just because he was been through 2 changes of bad organizations to become good in a short period of time. He was with the Lions when they turned it around. Then he goes to Washington, and now look at Washington immediately. So that's the guy I would like, but I feel like I'd be okay with any of these 3 guys because that tells me Aaron Glenn is involved. And that's the first thing we got to talk about. Aaron Glenn is involved in these GM. Like, that's obvious that he's going to have a final say on this decision.
It's going to be very interesting to see which one they decide. But I think Lance is in the driver's seat, but I could be wrong. I just feel like it. I got a gut feeling on this one. But hey, the Jets, man, I actually can't wait till you all get your GM so that we can start to see those initial moves, those initial decisions that they end up making, especially with Aaron Rodgers. Will they come out within the next couple of weeks after they hire the GM and say, they would love to have Aaron back, but they'll have those discussions with him and his intentions. Or if, they're going to be moving in a new direction and cut, Aaron Rodgers. When does everybody start, making their cuts? Is that the day after the Super Bowl or the new league year in March?
It could start like before free agency opens, I believe, for sure. So there's a lot that's going to happen with that. I just can't wait to figure out where the Jets are going at the quarterback position for sure. And I feel like Trey Brown is an intriguing candidate because he started off with the Patriots as a scouting assistant, was with the Eagles as a scout, and that's pretty awesome. And then now he's with the Bengals as a scout, and now he's a senior personnel executive. He's also a former player. So could the Jets have 2 former players at the head coach and the GM position? That's Trey Brown. So we'll see, man. We shall see. And the thing that I'm nervous about is the personnel decision. I just don't know what direction they're going to go at the quarterback. I don't know if Garrett Wilson's still happy or not. Breece Hall, right? There's a lot of, I don't want to read into social media, but, there's a lot of Jets players celebrating the hire of Aaron Glenn. Some people are posting, some people aren't. Some Jets fans are reading into it. You think that's something I got to read into?
Get the gauge of the team is important right now. Which players look like they, are on board, which players look like they're motivated by it. These things make a difference, in the decisions that they're going to make. Who's in, who's not, who likes it, who doesn't, who's, not looking like it's very favorable. Those people could be on their way out, all that stuff.
Yeah, I think
Richie, y'all will have a very exciting offseason where there'll be plenty to talk about.
Yeah, man. And like the head coach position, it's finally in, which is exciting. And then, of course, the next thing is the coaching staff around him. And I think that's very important. So there's a lot of dominoes to fall, but this is an exciting time to be a Jets fan just from the perspective of it's a chance for a new beginning. No guarantee, of course, that he is the guy for the future. No guarantee that he's going to be the next Harbaugh or Tomlin or Breed or any of the great Sean McDermott. Like, there's no guarantee that's the case. But it's a breath of fresh air. And the fact that he's tied to the New York Jets organization since 1994 when he was drafted here, it's just a feel-good story. And I'm excited about it, man. I really, really am. So we'll see. And now, especially with Mike Vrabel in the division now, and then the Dolphins are still dolphining. The New Orleans Saints, they missed out on Aaron Glenn, and they're interviewing Anthony Weaver for a second interview. Do you think Anthony Weaver is ready to be a head coach right now? Should the Saints actually consider him, or should they go another direction with Mike McCarthy? I don't understand the Mike Kafka. I mean, you talk about offensive coordinator for the Giants. What? He deserves a job? What? Come on, man.
Yeah, that's why I believe that Anthony Weaver might be in the driver's seat for this job now. We shall see. But Anthony Weaver in New Orleans is going to be very interesting. Yeah, he does deserve a opportunity to be a head coach. How he'll do in that role, we shall see. But I think his time is now. I think he did a okay job with the Miami Dolphins, defense last year. Taking a unit that had a lot of injuries and stuff, just like Aaron Glenn, and making them, top 10. But at the same token, like I said before, I'm one of those people who scrutinize the raw data. We were a great defense against all the bad teams, and we played about 10, 11 bad teams. So with that being said, he got those guys playing well enough to beat up on those teams. But every time we played a good team, we got smoked. The defense got smoked somewhat in most of the games.
Did you notice a sense of culture change on the defense in one season? Because he was there for 1 year. Vic Fangio was there before him. Did you feel an identity shift in just 1 year when he was there?
No, I'm not going to say I did. And I feel like everybody just did their job. And put it like this. When Fangio left, players hated Fangio so much that it's almost like this, Richie. When somebody you hate leaves, right, and you're happy about it, and you let the world know that you hate them, you will put a halo on top of the new guy just to make the old guy look even worse. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it's hard to really gauge when you automatically get the benefit of the doubt of that halo. So hopefully that makes sense. And the reason why I preface it that way is hard to gauge is because he could have been great for them and everything, but he already came in with an advantage because of how bad the old person was. And before they even played a snap, we love Anthony Weaver. He's a good human being. The last guy was a terrible human being. You see what I'm saying? Before a snap was even played. Now, some people had some of their worst seasons. Some people had, subpar seasons. Rookie Chop Robinson played well. Javon Holland had his worst season, just terrible under Weaver. Ramsey, status quo, but it wasn't prime Ramsey, or best Ramsey. So, in the rookies, Channing Tindall, Cam Smith still hasn't developed to a point that we're like, yeah, they're coming too. So we just played football as a unit, beat up on all the young, bad quarterbacks in the league, and all the good teams we got smoked by. So, I'm a little skeptical of that type of stuff of saying, oh, this guy made a difference. So, yeah, that's how I feel about it.
Yeah, I think it's going to be interesting hire for the Saints. I think they'd be smart to go Mike McCarthy out of the options that they're left with for sure. Now, we talked about the Jaguars many times, but now they have a GM vacancy. Liam Cohen dropped out. Trent Baalke fired. I mean, are the Jaguars more dysfunctional than the Jets? If there wasn't more team dysfunctional, I mean, they have a quarterback, but he's just not good enough to be good enough like we always talk about.
They're the most dysfunctional team in the NFL. Tennessee's getting close to that. So they need to have some success or do something right coming up. But yeah, the Jags are the most dysfunctional team in the NFL, in my opinion. And I don't the Giants be close too, but Jags take the cake right now.
Yeah, I mean they're stuck in a situation that's going to be very interesting. I think that Robert Saleh is going to eventually just stick with San Francisco. You get the defensive coordinator role, but at
Yeah.
the end of the day, you never know. We talked about it many times, but Ben Johnson's officially hired, and he had an interview. Did you see what he said about the NFC North in his press conference?
I know.
He said that he's excited to stay in the hardest division of football. He said he has a lot of respect for Kevin O'Connell, for Dan Campbell, and then he said, I enjoyed beating Matt LaFleur twice a year. Like he basically left Matt LaFleur's name out, and we're like, wow, he mentioned all the coaches but him. And then he doubled down. He's like, yeah, we're excited to beat him twice a year.
That's hey man, that you know what was beautiful about that?
What's that?
Bringing that fire.
I do have a message.
That resonates for his team. Bringing that kind of fire, I actually love it. Coming in fresh, new coach. That's what I like. I would love for my coach to come out. I look forward to beating the Jets twice. I mean, Robert Saleh twice every year when he was a coach. I look forward to beating Mike Vrabel twice a year. I would love to hear some stuff like that.
So here's what he had to say about the NFC North.
I know this is the toughest division of football right now. There's 3 teams that made the playoffs this year. I've got tremendous amount of respect for the coaches and the players in this league. Having competed against them for the last 6 years. Dan Campbell, Kevin O'Connell, you're talking about 2 guys that are up for Coach of the Year awards as the season ends here. And to be quite frank with you, I kind of enjoyed beating Matt LaFleur twice a year. I know this is the tough.
Did he just get a target on his back? Is that bulletin board material for Green Bay now when they verse Chicago? Because don't forget the how much the Packers own the Bears historically.
Well, going back, I don't think he said he looks forward to it. He said he looked forward to beating them twice. Basically, like he enjoyed beating them twice often. So now it's just a matter of him bringing that energy to Chicago.
People think he's the next Adam Gase. Look at him. Well, we'll say this. He passed the introductory press conference. Do you remember the Jets press conference with Adam Gase when he first?
Yeah, what was it? Yeah.
Oh, it couldn't have been worse, man. That was a nightmare. That was a dark time. That is a dark time in Jets land, man. Oh my God, I can't wait to see.
About that.
Oh God, dude.
Oh my gosh, I forgot.
I remember I quote tweeted it when that happened. I was like, I don't care about how crazy his eyes are. As long as he makes Sam Darnold a great quarterback, that's all that matters.
Well, he didn't see it.
No, didn't see it at all, man. Did not see it at all. So, what do you think? What's your prediction? Is Caleb Williams going to be unlocked? Is he going to be a top quarterback with Ben Johnson right away? Is it going to take 2 years?
Top?
Like when I say top, I mean top 10. Like, let's be honest. He's a first overall pick. So when you're the first overall pick, expectations should be top 10 in the NFL. And you look at his rookie season, he didn't turn the ball over. And I think that's a big, if you are a rookie and you protect the football, that's a plus. So I'm not saying I'm putting him in top 10 right away. We've seen big leaps. We've seen all of a sudden quarterbacks come out of nowhere, right? When they get the right coaching. Are you going to predict this to work, or is this going to take a few years, or is it just going to fail and Ben Johnson's fired in a few years? And by the way, I'm pretty sure they gave him $13 million a year as a coach, which is like massive.
Well, $13 million a year?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's wild. That's big money there. So here's what you're basically saying to me, Richie. Is he going to be top 10?
Is he be better than Jared Goff next year?
Yeah, that's my point. That's why I'm going down the line in my head here. Is he gonna be better than Mahomes? No, and he could be, but no, right now. Lamar, no. Josh, no. Burrow, no. Jaden Daniels, no. We're already 5 in. And
What about Bo Nix? Because Bo Nix had a better rookie season.
That's open for debate. Bo Nix had a good rookie season, but what makes even Jaden Daniels so cemented right now is what he's done in this postseason. You know,
Drake Maye.
Drake Maye, no. I mean, again, Drake Maye, he got to prove a lot more to me. Go ahead and get the kids. Okay, he passed the first round. He passed the first round of NFL approval. What I mean by that with Drake Maye is you did enough to say, now put weapons around him and let's see what we got. You know, because some quarterbacks in his situation last year would have been god awful. But he passed that test. Wasn't amazing, but hey, he played well. He did enough to say, now put you that's what you should put weapons around.
And what are your thoughts of this delusion? We have Patriots fans. Drake Maye is the second best quarterback in the division in year one. Like, he literally, that. I love, talk about delusion.
Oh, my gosh. Listen.
Like, could he become that next season? Yes. But if you talk about this past season, he was not better than even Tua when healthy, and was not better than Aaron Rodgers. Let's be honest.
Yeah,
that's not to say that Drake Maye's not going to be better this year, but when this past season, if you look at the numbers and you watch the film, there's what metric was he better than? I mean, Tua was. How many games did Tua and Drake? I'm actually curious the comparisons.
Tua played, I think, 11 games.
I'm actually curious between those two, Tua and Drake Maye. I have no idea what this is going to look like.
And remember, Tua only played at 11. How many did Drake Maye play?
Yeah, well, we'll see soon. Like, there's nothing wrong with being excited about Drake Maye for the future, but if you are already putting him at number 2,
yeah.
I mean, look at this. Drake Maye, yeah. I mean, all right. All right, I got it right here, TD.
How many games did he play, though?
He played 13 games. Tua played 11.
Oh, more than Tua. Nah, he wouldn't better.
Yeah. Hold on, let me get Aaron Rodgers is up as well, so we can compare and contrast. All right. Choose same season. Get results. So let's start off with this. And I know everyone's going to be like, yeah, well, add context, bro. The weapons, this, that, and that. Okay. We're still adding the context. He still wasn't better than anybody in the division. He's still last.
Well, let me look at the stats because I want to be fair to him and really evaluate it here. Let me look at that blown up real quick. All right. 2 less, right? Winning, completion, better. Oh my gosh. Throw Drake Maye away. See, this is what I be talking about with Kobe, man. Stop it. Now, his mobility was is going to be very that's interesting because when you look at his mobility, Richie, let me see, 6, 12, 18, do the math. He was on pace to rush for maybe just under 600 yards this year. And on pace to 10, 12, 13.
Yeah, but TD, there's weapons. You have Tyreek. You have Jalen Waddle.
Yeah. That's fair. I actually think that's fair, though, Richie, for someone to say. Let me see, 13.
I'm just adding the context that people want to hear.
4 equals.
So this is why, listen, you can't evaluate a quarterback off of stats and stats only. But even the eye test, you watch it, this is not a knock on Drake Maye that I think he showed enough, like what you said, TD, that he can be something. But if you're already crowning him the second best quarterback in the division, which, by the way, Colby's saying as well, You're basically delusional and inflating him to something. So you go watch the tape on all the quarterbacks in the division. Josh Allen was obviously number one. And you could argue Aaron Rodgers was right there, especially after he started playing at the back end of the season. I mean, it's not even just the numbers. Go watch what Aaron Rodgers did. Drake Maye can't even sniff the type of things that Aaron Rodgers did on the field in terms of tape. Not even box score, not even stats, not even yards and touchdowns and interceptions. Talking about tape here. Drake Maye made a lot of throws too, where you're like, okay, if that can start being consistent, he could be something. All I'm saying is pump the brakes. Pump the brakes if you're a Patriots fan. He has a chance to be one of the best quarterbacks in this division. I will say that. But right now, he's not. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, man. Richie, this is close, though. This is closer than I think. Than if you do add the context to it all, this is close. Like when you look at it, Drake Maye was on pace to have about 3,600 all-purpose yards. 67, 11.
I mean, his passing touchdown interception ratio wasn't even a 2-to-1.
No, I get it. It was he was on pace for 20 touchdowns, 13 interceptions. Here's how I kind of rate it, Richie. First of all, he's a rookie, right? Compared to Tua Tagovailoa being a fifth-year guy, he was a rookie. And then on top of him being a rookie, you do have to look at the weapons and what's around him. So if you got him weapons and he gets more experience, he can explode.
Yeah,
he has the potential. That. He has the potential to explode onto the scene. And when you look at Tua's overall statistics, Tua was on pace for about 4,400 yards. Drake Maye was on pace for about 3,600 yards. So about an 800-yard difference. But once again, Drake Maye has the ability to also impact the game in different ways, unlike Tua Tagovailoa with his mobility. And I also, add in the 2 touchdowns for Drake Maye. Technically, he was on pace for 21 touchdowns potentially for the season. So, I get it overall. Yeah, I get it why people would easily say, hey, Drake Maye, he's one of the good quarterbacks in the league because of his future. But let's see him with the weapons first. Let's make sure
I'm saying. They're jumping the gun and saying it before it's happened. Is it possible for it to happen? 100%. No one's denying that. All I'm saying is let's pump the brakes and let's not, put him up there before he's actually proven it. That's all I'm saying. So let's let the season play itself out. And I think the debate with Drake Maye is going to be the quarterbacks in his own draft class, because that draft class is coming out loaded. Especially if Minnesota goes to J.J. McCarthy and Atlanta goes to Penix. We saw Bo Nix break out. We saw Jaden Daniels get Rookie of the Year. Caleb Williams now is going to have a new coach. So, I'm curious to see how Drake Maye stacks up in his own draft class, because I think that's going to be a big debate. You can argue it's going to be like the 2018 draft class with Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson. Like that it feels like it's one of those draft classes if it all pans itself out.
Well, let's do this. You have that comparison up, Richie?
Of what? Of who?
Of those 2 quarterbacks, Drake Maye and Tua?
Yeah. Want me to put it back up?
No, let's would you be able to put up Tua's rookie season?
Yeah.
How many starts did Drake get? Was it 11 or 12 or 13? 13, right?
Tua's rookie season?
Matter of fact, I think it's even better.
Tua played 10 games as a rookie.
Well, he came in the middle of one. It was technically 9. Yeah, but I'll put it like this. Drake Maye certainly is having a better start than Tua. And let me tell you why. Do you see how that's Tua's rookie year, right? Wait, you still, which one do you have up? Do you have it up?
You want me to put it up to his rookie year? Compare?
Yeah, but then we're also going to put up Tua's second year when he was the guy, supposed to be the guy.
This is why we need producers, man. I'm a host and a producer at the same time. This is where we're like, hey, producer, give us the stats.
Yeah, let me show you this. So
this is Tua's rookie year compared to his rookie year.
So it's completion percentage for Maye is higher. Yards is hard to compare. You know what you should do? Go to Tua's sophomore year compared to Drake Maye's rookie year. And that still gives Tua the advantage. But Drake Maye was still better.
Man, you're putting me in work, TD.
Just this last one. Tua's sophomore year should be more comparable with games because he was the starter that year.
Yeah, 13 games.
Yeah, so and this gives him another year of experience over Drake Maye. And Drake Maye's numbers probably were still better overall.
This is Tua's sophomore year.
And there you have it. Completion percentage pretty close. Tua got him by 1 point. But look at the yardage here. Is it close to being comparable?
I mean, Tua had 204 yards per game compared to his 175.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's passing. That's passing. Passes per attempt. But look at the touchdown interception. You see the correlation here?
Yeah, it's pretty same.
Rating pretty close, but then look at the difference here. What makes a big difference? The rushing. And this is the mobile version, a little bit mobile version of Tua where we weren't scared for concussions all over the place. So Drake Maye is going to always add that element of mobility that gives him a higher ceiling than Tua Tagovailoa.
Interesting research there from our research department at Roundtable Sports. Thank you guys so much for all the support, man.
And remember, Tua didn't have much, but he did have Devontae Parker, Mike Gesicki, and a few other, and Jalen Waddle. He had Jalen Waddle that second year. So he had Devontae Parker, Jalen Waddle, and Mike Gesicki. But compared to what Drake Maye has, that's still better. Still a lot better. So we see what happened when Tua got weapons and things of that nature. Now we'll be able to see if Drake Maye with $120 million in cap space, what they do around him. And then we'll know who Drake Maye is next year. We will know.
What I know we have to see what they do in the offseason around him, but what's your expectation for Drake Maye in year 2?
Next year?
Statistically,
next year for Drake Maye, I'm looking at 30. I'm looking for 4,000 passing yards. To be expectation for me, 4,000 passing yards. I'm looking at 26 touchdowns. Less than 14 interceptions, which still ain't good, but I mean, he's still young. Less than 14 interceptions. And to pick up 600 yards on the ground. And I will feel like he's a really good quarterback that New England's going to be real good for the future. So that's on average 1,000 yards passing more on average.
Josh McDaniels, you think it's a good fit?
Yeah, I think that's it. We'll find out. Again, it all depends on what they do around him. And this is making an assumption that they're going to go get 2 really nice receivers. They're going to solidify the trenches and have a nice run game and have a defense behind his back, obviously, with Vrabel. That's going to happen. that's going to compete. So, yeah.
Awesome. All right. Well, I feel like it's going to be interesting to see where it all goes. We have some news to talk about, which is the finalists for the NFL Honor Awards.
Yeah, I saw that.
Oh, so I shouldn't show it?
No, of course.
Just kidding. So here are the finalists across the AP NFL honors. Let's start off with MVP, Josh Allen, Lamar, Saquon, Burrow, and Goff are the finalists. Do you think Lamar or Allen will win it?
Yeah, of course.
Which one I meant?
I mean, this is the MVP award, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, eliminate Burrow, Barkley, Goff. Honestly, remember, votes were tallied before the playoffs. I think Lamar Jackson is going to barely win it.
Offensive Player of the Year, Lamar, Derrick Henry, Chase, Burrow, Saquon. I find it interesting how Lamar's on here, but Josh Allen is not. And Joe Burrow's on here, and Josh Allen's not. Why is that?
Which is more the reason why I think Lamar Jackson win an MVP. Because even if you look at it as an offensive player of the year, you're not even in the top 5. Because just from offensive player of the year, like your performance, you know, it's crazy. He doesn't belong above any of them. Remember, offensive player of the year has a higher statistical weight to it. Like what you did statistically. Josh Allen didn't do anything this year statistically. He didn't do anything statistically this year. Nobody talks about that. It was not impressive statistics.
The only thing he did impressive statistically was not turn the ball over.
Yeah, but that's unfair, and here's why. There's plenty of quarterbacks that didn't turn the ball over as much as he didn't. He just do it so much often that now that he's in the regular realm of everybody else, we glorify it. I mean, the man went from how many did he have?
Turnovers, like I think 8 total.
Yeah,
with fumbles and picks.
I'm saying interceptions. That's what most people are looking at with Josh, the interceptions, right? How many did he have?
I forgot. 6? I don't know.
Yeah, like 6 interceptions.
Or maybe less. He had 6, yeah.
Yeah, so
28 passing touchdowns, 6 interceptions.
Yeah, like Herbert had like 4 or 5 or something like that. A lot of that. How many did Lamar have? Interceptions?
4.
4, you know. So we're glorifying Josh Allen because he corrected something that was so terrible, and now he's in the regular range, and we're like, oh man, but he didn't turn the ball. Oh, so he's regular now?
He also Josh Allen threw the least amount of passing touchdowns since his sophomore year.
This is my point. He did absolutely nothing off the map statistically this year. And I know MVP isn't just statistics, and that's why he's the MVP candidate. And I agree. I literally have him as my number 2 from an impact standpoint. But statistically, he did absolutely nothing. That's why he's not on the Offensive Player of the Year award chart. Because what did he do statistically as an offensive player? It has nothing to do with impact for the offensive player. It's who had an amazing season statistically. And that's why he's not on there. And if I think Saquon will win this award, but let me tell you something. I hope to get some votes. Because I think he's just as
who?
Chase. He had a phenomenal season, man. And remember how he started, Richie. Remember the first 3 games, you're not even showing up and you're complaining about, you know.
Yeah, he wasn't. I'm the reason why he broke out, though. He watched.
Yeah, he might be. But I'll tell you this, he might have been the favorite of Offensive Player of the Year in those first few weeks if he would have broke out. So he definitely turned his season around and did it quiet too, just every week, 150, 130, 160, you know, just every week, just quietly doing it. So
Yeah, I think this is Saquon. This is
Derrick Henry's statistics were off the chart too. But Saquon's was slightly better. And this is where Lamar and Derrick Henry take a hit playing with each other because they both take from each other in that same category of rushing.
Mm-hmm. Defensive player of the year. Look at that.
Hendrickson on there. Yep.
Yeah.
There he is. I like what he did this year. I haven't really followed Surtain this year like that to really feel like,
Yeah, he was. I don't think he's gonna win.
Like? Who do you like?
TJ Watt, I think, has a chance. Trey Hendrickson has a chance. I mean, Zach Bond, I think, had a phenomenal year for Philly, but I don't think he's going to win it. I would have to say it's going to be TJ Watt. But you never know. He's always he's like my favorite player in the NFL on defense outside of the Jets. Offensive Rookie of the Year. We know where this is going, but interesting to see the finalists.
Yeah, Jaden Daniels all day. He should have been on the MVP.
Jaden Daniels, Brock Bowers, Malik Neighbors, Bo Nix, Brian Thomas Jr.
Hey, Brock Bowers did his thing this year, though.
Oh, yeah. He's a stud.
Yeah.
A name on here that you notice that's not on here because, I mean, I'm not saying he should be, but it's just there's a lot of hype around him pre-draft.
QB?
No, wide receiver.
Brian Thomas Jr. is on there. Malik. Arizona.
Yeah. He was the first receiver taken.
Yeah, Marvin Harrison Jr.
Yeah, I mean, he was looked at as a generation.
But he got a mid quarterback.
Who does Brian Thomas have? Who's Brian Thomas have at quarterback?
A mid quarterback, you right.
With a backup as well. Trevor, even his mid quarterback got hurt.
But Kyler, man, this is what Kyler do.
Who's Malik Neighbors got, TD?
You right. But this is what Kyler do. That's how
you can argue Kyler Murray's better than the quarterbacks that Malik Neighbors and Brian Thomas have.
I agree, but Kyler Murray, man, he that little
but Malik Neighbors and Thomas, they have worse quarterbacks.
I get it, but at least the Jags and Trevor Lawrence and the Giants
and Mac Jones, by the way,
Mac
Jones played.
At least the game plan is get those guys the ball. That ain't the game plan in Arizona. You forget midway through the season. It's not my job, but yes, it is. Oh my gosh, man. But yeah, man, that's old Kyler Murray.
He had, let's see the stats. Marvin Harrison had 116 targets. Let's see the comparison. 116 targets for Marvin Harrison Jr. Brian Thomas had 133, so 20 more targets.
Shame.
Malik Neighbors, I think, is going to have even the most targets out of them all because they got nobody on that team. 170 targets for Malik Neighbors.
Why is this kid having the least amount of targets?
170. I'm actually curious.
Did they play all the games?
Yeah, I believe so. Garrett Wilson had 154 targets. So, yeah.
So, Kyler Murray.
Yeah, man. And remember that one game where Marvin broke out? We were just like, whoa. And then he kind of silent. So, this is Jaden Daniels. If you had to rank it, Jaden Daniels 1, would you put Brock Bowers 2 over Bo Nix?
Yep. And then Bo Nix. And then
Ryan Thomas was the guy I really loved. And
but I'm still going Neighbors over him.
You think so?
Yeah, I'm going Neighbors.
He's a stud though. Chop Robinson made the finalists.
Yeah. Verse on there.
Yeah, he's winning that.
Yeah, that makes sense. 2
Eagles, 2 Rams. Wow, look at that.
I haven't followed Cooper DeJean this year, man. I don't know how he did, really. I haven't really been up on that.
That's kind of wild. The Eagles drafted 2 defensive backs in the first and second round. They're both finalists. Vic Fangio, man. Chop Robinson, though, shout out.
Yeah, I think I don't know. Jared Verse might get this. Or
he's getting it. Yeah, Jared Verse is getting it, man. He's a stud.
Yeah.
He's a stud. I actually know some information about Jared Verse. He went to college before he transferred to FSU. He went to UAlbany. My girlfriend went to UAlbany.
Wow.
So I know some stories of Jared Verse.
Oh Lord.
That's all I'll say. The stories are
Well,
pretty.
I can only imagine.
My girlfriend's friends, you know, her friends, they know Jared Verse. You know,
Okay. Yeah,
they told me the story. I'm like,
without telling us.
I don't know if I wanted to know that story. Now I look at him differently. Now the coach of the year: Dan Campbell, Kevin O'Connell, Sean Payton, Dan Quinn, Andy Reid. I think this is Kevin O'Connell's job, but Sean Payton definitely deserves some love too.
Yeah, KOC got to win this, man. You had Sam Darnold. I mean, KOC got to win that.
Yeah. Dan Campbell won it last year, right? Yeah. So two NFC North, and shout out to Kevin O'Connell, by the way. He got an extension. Congratulations to him. There's rumors about him getting traded. No way. Assistant coach awards. Give me a Aaron Glenn. Yeah. Woo. Round of applause for Aaron Glenn being nominated.
It's interesting though. I didn't even know this was gonna be a I didn't know it's gonna be Fangio or Flores. And then Fangio probably has the lead on this.
Why not Joe Brady? Or Ben Johnson,
because again, you got Josh Allen. You know, it's going to be a knock on him. Trust me when I tell you, it's going to be a knock. When they vote, they're not going to pick Brady over Fangio, what he did with the Eagles, #1 defense. But they do have talent. But Flores, on the other hand, with all them no names, to have a top 5 defense. And Aaron Glenn just helped the defense survive throughout the year. So good job, but that's not as impressive what Fangio and Flores did. I think Fangio had the most success, but he also had a lot of talent. Flores had the most success without a lot of talent, and Brady had success without all the talent, but you got the second, arguably the second best quarterback in the NFL. So, yeah, that's interesting.
I'm just happy that I know Aaron Glenn's not going to win it, but I'm happy he was nominated, man. That's my guy. AG, represent. Let's go, baby. Go. Comeback player of the year. I thought Sam was not eligible, so I'm curious why DeMar Hamlin nominated again? I guess that's because
but DeMar Hamlin had a good season.
No, yeah, you're right.
You're right. Actually deserve it now.
No, I know. I thought Sam Darnold wasn't eligible because they made this award. You got to come back from injury, not come back from being bad. But
or not play the previous year.
Or injured.
Yeah,
Joe Burrow should win this.
Did he
no,
play last year.
No.
Oh crap! I'm sitting here going through all of them like, yeah, DeMar Hamlin and Sam Darnold. I didn't even look at the top row. Joe Burrow winning his head.
Yeah, but at the same time, what did Joe Burrow come back from besides just an injury? Like he was great before.
Yeah, but injury.
He was like it wasn't like he was bad. That's why I feel like Joe Burrow doesn't deserve this award.
That's not what it's about, though, is whether or not you were bad.
But like Sam Darnold came back from the doldrums of the New York Jets curse and the seeing ghosts.
Some people never come back the same from an injury. And that's what it's about, the bounce back. Some people, how many times have we said in history, ever since that injury, he ain't been the same?
You know what's upsetting? You know who's supposed to win this award?
Supposed to? Aaron Rodgers?
Yeah.
No, he wasn't.
When I say like preseason, like I was like if Rodgers plays as we expect, this should be his award. No, not the case. He was the favorite. He was also the betting favorite to win the award before the season started.
Burrow, but you know what? Sam has the bigger comeback because of what you said about. Joe Burrow is always good, but if you're just going off of the previous year, then Burrow probably.
I think Sam should win it. I'm not biased.
But Hamlin was good though. Hamlin out there playing. Like, you know what? I'm gonna be honest with you, and this is so unfair of me, and it's disrespectful. I just always looked at Hamlin as a scrub. You want to know why? Because I never knew who he even was before that situation happened.
And then he picked off Tua. Oh, yeah, he picked up Tua.
Like I always Hamlin. Like who knows? I don't even know who that is. And then like I'm looking at him this year. I'm like, hey man, like every time we play him, at least, or when I watch the Bills, I'm like, hey, making plays. I'm watching it.
He's the starting safety.
But it'll always, remember me preseason, you'll start safety Hamlin. It's a wrap. you know, y'all don't have no trouble. But you know what? He's earning my respect. But it's still just always there, like, man, it's DeMar Hamlin, man. But hey, he out there playing good football. He out there ball. You know who he remind me of?
Who's that?
From a talent standpoint, where he's probably not like this big time player, but he's really good and he's solid. He remind me of Shiloh Sanders, Deion's son in the secondary. Not a superstar, but he is pretty sound. He plays good football. He's usually where he needs to be. So, that's who he remind me of.
Interesting. All right, to finish off the show, we got to get into these championship games. All right, we got to get into them, TD. First, I want to get your thoughts of the odds on BetUS, the #1 online sports book. Shout out to BetUS for being the proud sponsor of Roundtable Sports all off-season and in-season long. We appreciate you guys big time. Use the code YouTube150 when you sign up for BetUS. You get a 150% bonus on your first deposit. You can get a 125% on your next two. That's up to $2,000. They also got casino games. They got all you need. Here are the odds for both games. The Commanders are 6-point underdogs in Philadelphia. The Bills and Chiefs game is pretty much even, favoring the Chiefs by 1 point. Both games have the same line of over-under at 47.5. TD, let's start off with the Washington Commanders and Eagles game.
Man, that Washington +6 is like, wow, calling me. It's calling me because Philly got a great team, but Washington could win this game. They could win it. Philly is the better team, the favorite, because Washington has never been here. Philly has gone to a Super Bowl just like this. But that +6, that I don't think that's what we have here. If Philly wins, it's going to be by a field goal, in my opinion, if they win. So I like what I'm seeing there. Over under. I think the ticket might be punched in this one. I think the over ticket just might be punched in this one. But we shall see. The other game, Richie, Buffalo, Kansas City, those odds, they're giving Buffalo a lot of love because even though the Chiefs are a 1-point favorite, the Chiefs are home. That makes me feel like Buffalo by 2 points maybe is the interesting move here.
Pretend nobody's watching. It's just me and you.
Uh-huh.
You picking the Bills to win to jinx them, or you actually think they're going to win?
I actually think they're going to win.
Okay.
Yeah, this ain't no jinx. I've been told y'all that. Now I'm hoping I'm jinxing them. They did be able to beat the Chiefs. I know it was a regular season, but they kind of showed that. And I think what we underestimate about the Bills is just like the Chiefs, they got a whole bunch of 7 and 8s. But at the same token, that defense is still playing well. Chiefs defense is playing well. This is like a mano-a-mano matchup. I just feel like the Chiefs haven't even reached their optimal abilities, but what's been keeping them from it? Or maybe it's just the competition because they haven't even needed to. They only lost one game. We don't count that second one. But that's the scary thing about the Chiefs. If they're just, giving you what's needed, then they're going to win. Maybe they haven't broke to that next level yet because they haven't needed to. Like, do you recall the Chiefs blowing anybody out this year?
They don't need to anymore.
Yeah, it's like, let's just play the game, run our plays. We don't have to score fast. We don't have to score. So let's just play our game. They just do what they need to do, but I think Buffalo is doing the same thing, and they've learned that, and they're adopting that mentality. Like Buffalo, in my opinion, didn't do anything special against the Ravens, but just keep on chucking at it.
Yeah, man. I mean, play mistake-free football, and you just let the other team make the mistakes.
So that's what Buffalo did. So who breaks first in this game is going to be what it come up.
Mahomes hasn't thrown an interception since the first Bills game.
So but he did.
Yeah. So we'll see, man. I'm excited for it. Everyone in the chat, let us know your Super Bowl picks. You got Commanders, Bills?
Commanders, Bills, I do.
I may go Eagles, Chiefs, man.
Yeah.
I feel like I've been down in the Eagles all year. I love the story of Washington. I want the Commanders to win.
Yeah.
But I just feel like the defense of Washington, the defense of Philadelphia, and there's something special with Saquon, man, that like I feel like I've never seen a running back impact winning like this.
But it's also something about Jaden Daniels. But you're right. The Eagles are supposed to win. I'm just riding this Jaden Daniels train because he excited me so much last week.
No, I agree. I'm right there with you. I just feel like it's going to be a Super Bowl that no one wants to see. A rematch again. Remember last year was a rematch.
Yeah.
It's going to be another rematch. I got an interesting question for you before we end. If it's Eagles, Chiefs, and obviously it's not going to turn into this, but we're getting some flashes of the NBA. Remember the era of the NBA where we saw the same people in the finals every year?
Mm-hmm.
That's my only thing. I'm not saying it's going to hurt the ratings and the NFL's king, but remember the era, it was Cavs, Warriors. It was just LeBron versus Curry every year. I don't
think that's what's happening.
If it's Chiefs, Eagles, that's what I'm saying.
I don't think so. I don't think so. What was it last year?
Chiefs, Niners.
You see what I mean? You see the switch up? I think this is more of the Lakers Celtics little 4-year stint. We remember they met up with each other twice in those 4 years and got each other, but in between the Lakers win another year and in between the Celtics win another year. So that's what I think is more of versus that one was just both teams every year. So but yeah, Philly Chiefs, do the world want to see that rematch?
No. The world? Absolutely not.
Yeah, and I thought the Eagles got robbed on that last play. So I forgot what even happened, but it was something on the last play with the Eagles. On the left side, something happened.
Yeah, they called the PI.
Yeah. And that was controversial. So I don't
better get it right, man. I'm so sick of the refs being like impacting these games. I really, really am. Like, it's not a good look if you're Roger Goodell. Like, either party, just get the calls right or start reviewing the calls or something, man. I'm so sick of I'm so sick of the narrative after games is we're talking about the refs and not the actual game. I hate that. Yeah. But we have to talk about it when the refs make some bad calls. And it's inconsistent all across the board. Michael with the $2 and another $2. Josh broke 18 NFL all-time records this season.
Can you tell everybody what those records were?
18.
No, tell them what the records are, though. Please. See, that is it the stuff?
He's the first NFL quarterback to be wearing the jersey number 17 and to be playing in the weather of 17 degrees.
Some of them are reciprocal, or you can say congruent stats. Oh, the first player to average over 3 points EPA. Really? Oh, the first player to ever have 3 EPA over this in 7 games. Like 9 of them are like one little category, but different weeks and this and that. Like, stop. Give me the freaking 18.
18.
Shaking it. Give me the 18. Tell us what the 18 records are. Some of y'all don't even know one of them. You just heard some talking head tell you Josh broke 18 NFL records. Yeah, some of you don't even know one of them. Come on, man. Y'all need to stop this mess.
Red Hood with the $5 super chat. Red Hood says, I know you guys want the Bills to lose, but I need the Chiefs to lose, so their fans, especially Nick Wright, get humbled.
Hold on, Richie. I want you to think about this, though, Richie. Think about this. 18 records. The man statistically didn't break a single, you know what I mean? Like, now they're putting records together. Well, if you add a combination of 4,000 yards passing and 900 rushing, that's a record. Like, y'all need to stop. Like, the man ain't had was it least interceptions ever? Was it least fumbles ever? Was it most touchdowns ever? Was it most yards ever? Was it but they're not talking about none of that. Was it highest completion percentage? Was it highest rating? Was it none of those? None of the real stats that matter. 18 records. Y'all need to stop listening to these people spewing that propaganda, man.
Oh, man. Propaganda. Red Hood. I know you guys want the Bills to lose. I need the Chiefs to lose so their fans, especially Nick Wright, get humbled. Thank you, Red Hood. We appreciate the super chat. We'll see. Michael comes back with another super chat. You don't give enough room to list them 50 letters. List them one by one, each comment. Record.
I'm just asking for you to give me 3 or 4.
Here's one, according to Anthony. First player in NFL history with 5 straight 40-plus total touchdown seasons.
Well, congratulations. 40-plus touchdowns for 5 seasons in a row and never led the league in touchdowns in any one of those seasons.
You sure about that?
Yeah, I'm very confident.
Last year, I thought he did.
No, he didn't. Did he? That boy led the league in touchdowns last year?
Yeah, that was a whole debate between...
Because of the interceptions. I got you. Because of the interceptions. That's what hurt him.
Yeah.
All right, you got that one, Anthony.
Aaron Rodgers also has 4 seasons of 40-plus touchdowns as well, but it wasn't in consecutive seasons.
Got it. Who cares that it was consecutive?
That's what I'm saying. But what's the difference between consecutive and doing it all the time?
Well, he threw, 8 picks.
First quarterback in league history to record a passing, rushing, and receiving touchdown in a game.
Well, that's actually, players have actually done that before in the NFL. Oh, but we're going to make it specific to a quarterback. I think he's the 3rd one to do that, if I'm not mistaken, all time. And another thing, Anthony, that's because he go in the huddle and say, hey, Shakir, which one you want? You want to throw it or you want me to give it to you? Or you whatever going to make my stats look good. Yeah, we saw that.
Joe Brady's like, hand off to Shakir. And then Josh Allen in the huddle's like, hey, do you mind if I just do a push? If I just
like a flip it forward.
Flip it forward so I get the passing touchdown?
I'm a little behind Lamar in this area. Can I?
Oh, you love it, man. It's all.
I'm not going to turn back. I'm going to let you get just past me, and then I'm going to,
Oh, man. God. Well, we shall see if the Josh Allen-led Buffalo Bills can take down those hated Kansas City Chiefs. Woo! We're excited about it, man. Championship Sunday is coming up. We'll see you guys then. Shout out to BetUS for sponsoring this show all season long. Tony, any final words to the Bills people that are calling you a hater and you don't know ball and you're an idiot?
Man, listen, I'm used to it at the end of the day, but I'm just having fun, y'all. Josh Allen is a great quarterback. I continue to tell y'all that. I can't hate on the man anymore because of how great he is. But I'm still dislike him because I'm a Dolphins fan. I can't stand him because he beat up on us like he does. So take it with a grain of salt, all right? I'm just doing my due. Love y'all, though.
Love everybody. Don't take anything personal. All right. It's all part of the fun. And we appreciate you guys big time. We'll see you later today on BetUS TV's The Huddle. This is Roundtable Sports Network. Hit that subscribe button. Like the show. We love you all. And have a great rest of your day.
Peace. This guy.